In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the lower control arm on this Ford Flex. Let's get started. Remove the wheel, use a 19mm socket, take off all of your lug nuts. I'm going to remove the axle nut next with a 32mm socket. You may or may not have to do this, but I strongly suggest that you do so that you don't separate your inner CV joint. This is very tight, so make sure you have adequate tools, either a strong impact or a breaker bar. With that off, you want to make sure you have movement from the axle. If it does not push in, it's seized inside the hub. Take a center punch and a hammer, punch it through until it moves. I mean, it's not going to come out the other side, but you want to make sure it breaks free. If you don't have a center punch, put the axle nut back on flush and then use a hammer. That way you don't damage the threads. Next, I want to loosen up the lower ball joint nut, and if yours is extremely rusty, you're probably going to have to take the strut bolts out, tilt the knuckle forward, pull the axle out, and then get some sort of a power tool on here. I'm going to attempt to break it free with a wrench. If you still want to do it this way, you can use some heat on it. Be very gentle though, because this is an aluminum knuckle. So I'm going to put my 24mm wrench on it, and with a rubber mallet, I'm going to tap it. I already sprayed it with rust penetrant, as you can see. And it looks like I did break it free. So that's good news. All right. At this point, it's starting to spin the entire stud, which you can actually hold with a 11mm wrench. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the closed end of the wrench here, put my 11mm wrench on the top, hold that, turn this, and this should now loosen up our nut. There we go. The reason I'm doing this now is so that I can get this loosened up with it still somewhat securely mounted. Okay, it's time to switch to the open end. I switched to the open-ended wrench, or open-ended side of the wrench again, because the further out you go with the mounting nut, the further up it's going to go. And unless you have a 24mm ratcheting wrench, you're not really going to have space to just remove that wrench, pull it out, and resituate it. Switch to some locking pliers because they can hold on a little bit better. Doing this right now, I'm actually pushing my locking pliers up and off of the stud. But that's fine because by the time they pop off, the nut will be off the threads. Okay, there it is. Now with the nut completely removed, I'm going to put it back on just a few threads. That way it holds this secure when we are ready to separate this so it doesn't just fall right off. Make sure it's still only finger tight though, just a couple threads. Next, on the back of the control arm, you'll see there are two 15mm headed bolts going through the subframe. At the top of these bolts, you'll see an 18mm nut. It is very difficult to see and even more difficult to reach. All I can basically do is just feel for it. And once I get that on, I'm going to remove this first bolt. I'm going to hold the nut with an 18mm wrench. Once I get that on, I'm going to remove this first bolt. Okay, there we go. Let's get the other one. Inspect these thoroughly because a lot of times they rust, they corrode, and they'll be weak if they are weak. So if this area is narrower because it's covered in rot or corrosion, replace these, otherwise they will fail once you torque them. At the front of the control arm, there's an 18mm headed bolt going through the subframe. There's a little cutout here that you can access it through. Get your tool on there and drive it out. From the back side where the bolt pokes through, take a punch and a hammer, punch it out the rest of the way. Or at least until you can grab it over here with something. That should allow you to release the pressure off this bolt. There's the bolt. Looks like the front already wants to swing down, so that's perfect. Now from the back, let's pry the control arm out of its mounting location. And then as it comes back, or as it comes out, it's also going to go down. Okay, there it is. Now support the control arm, take this nut off, and this is exactly why I left it on, so it wouldn't fall to the ground. Now, if it's seized in here, you could always use a remover tool or just very gently tap the knuckle. That might help. And there you have it. There's your control arm. Now let's get the new control arm in. I'm going to start where I ended with the removal, and that is the ball joint. I'm going to put this nut on. A few threads so I can hold it in here. I mean, if you wanted to tighten it down right now, you could, but it's a little wobbly, so I'll wait to do that. Make sure the axle pushes through. If you pull on the knuckle, you definitely do not want to be damaging that. It'll separate the joint. Pull out on the knuckle and line up this rearward bushing. My front bushing also lines up, so that's great. Use a rubber mallet, tap this in. At the same time, make sure everything else is still lining up. Okay, that looks good. Keep driving it in. Avoid using a steel hammer because that'll completely damage this aluminum casing of the bushing. Yep, that's looking good. A little bit more. Okay, so these are pretty much lined up. Let's try to line up the front a little bit better. If I can't do it now, that's okay. All right, that's close. So I'm gonna leave the front as it is. Right now I'm gonna put the two bolts in the back. That way I at least lock this bushing in. Then with this locked in and this somewhat secured, we can pivot this so I can, basically this one needs to go in a little bit more and a little bit up, but like I said, it's in for now, so I'm going to leave it there. Let's put in the two rear bolts. Let's get these two rear bolts in. Okay, if it doesn't line up, just make it line up by either tapping it in or out. Before I put this one in, I'm going to try to start the mounting nut on a further one. Yep, so that's started. So now, with that secured, let's try and get this one back in. All right, that one poked through as well. That's perfect. Both mounting nuts are started. So let's tighten this up. Grab your 15mm socket and 18 wrench, tighten these up. Okay, don't make them too tight. We'll come back and torque these in a little bit. And the front one. For this bolt, the control arm has to go in and up. I'll start by tapping it upwards. And now, pushing it in. Take this bolt. It should slide right through. There we go. Now let's tighten this up. Now for this one, we have to tighten the bushing with the control arm at right height. So I'm gonna get this close, then I'll put a pull jack underneath and move it up because this bushing is actually gonna get pinched right here and you don't wanna pinch it at the wrong angle. Otherwise, when you pull the control arm up for the vehicle to sit on the ground, it'll always be in a bind and it'll destroy the bushing prematurely. That's onto the threads now. Let's snug it up. All right, don't tighten it, just bring it close to to raise this control arm up. If you're on the ground, just use your floor jack. Make sure you don't jam the floor jack right up against this ball joint. I'm using a pull jack, and I'm going on this flat part here. Once again, not on the ball joint. I don't want to risk damaging anything. I'm just going to raise this up until I can kind of estimate ride height. The control arm does not have to be parallel with the ground. In this case, it is not for this particular vehicle, but you have to get close. I think right about here is good. Now let's finish tightening up this bolt and then we'll torque it. 136 foot-pounds is the torque for this. I'm going to torque it with the suspension still loaded, or, well, the control arm pushed up, that is. Here we go. That's it right there. Now we can release pressure off of the control arm. That was the only bushing that needed to be torqued at right height. Let this down all the way, and then we can torque the rest of our fasteners. The torque for these two rear bolts is 73 foot-pounds. Technically, you're supposed to tighten the nuts or torque the nuts, but there is obviously absolutely no way to get to them. You can just barely hold them with a wrench, so I'm just going to tighten them from the bolt side. Well, this one's already there, so that's perfect. And so is that one now. Perfect. Now let's tighten the ball joint nut, or ball joint stud nut. And this one has a torque too, but I won't be able to torque it with the axle in the way, so I'm just going to make it as tight as I can with my wrench. Give it a couple taps with the rubber mallet at the end. If you wanted to torque it, you'd have to remove the entire axle from the knuckle, which means pulling the strut bolts out. Okay, well that's pretty tight right there. It's actually causing my 11mm wrench to slip. This is the same wrench that I used when removing, so I can hold the stud. So now I have to get this off, and there we go. Now at this point, you can take a rubber mallet and tap that wrench like I said earlier. This should tighten it just a little bit more. The torque for this is technically 148 foot-pounds, so like I said, I'm just going to make it as tight as I can with the wrench. And it looks like it's spinning the whole stud. I'm going to clamp it with some locking pliers, try again, but it's already pretty tight. Okay. Well, that's pretty tight. Let's get these locking pliers out of here. Let's put the axle nut on. I'm going to drive it on with my impact. The torque for this is 258 foot-pounds, so I'm really not concerned about over-tightening this. However, I will make sure the axle is pushed in and the splines line up. Now let's torque it. Like I said, torque for this is 258 foot-pounds. My torque wrench actually only goes to 250, so that's what I'm going to go for. It's pretty close to 258. That's it right there. I have this pry bar going through the lug studs, preventing this from spinning. If you do the same thing, make sure the pry bar is flat. It will definitely damage the studs if it's sitting at an angle at such a high torque. Let's get the wheel on. Put on all 5 of your lug nuts, bottom them out in a cross pattern, and then still in a cross pattern, torque them to 100 foot-pounds. Double check them. Take it for a road test and don't forget to get an alignment.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.